Well, the exhibition tonight is just the stark reality of what's going on, just in Europe, you could say, just a little bit outside Europe, a few thousand miles away. And what we need to start realising is that nothing is going to happen with us just sitting around and mulling around our daily lives. We actually need to become active on this issue.
It's a great pleasure for me to be here tonight on behalf of the Scottish Government to show my support and my continued solidarity with the people of Gaza and the people of Palestine. That if some of those images were of cities in this country or cities in the United States of America, there would be global outrage. And yet there are still too few voices in the international community that are prepared to stand up and speak out for the people of Gaza. And that is why it's so important that people like us, and people like us, not just in Scotland but all over the world, continue to speak up and speak out and show solidarity and support for the people who are still suffering so much in Gaza. Organisations like Islamic Relief, Edinburgh Direct Aid, Medical Aid for Palestine, Glasgow, the Caring City. And I want tonight to pay tribute to each and every one of those organisations and the other organisations and individuals who over the course of the past year have risked their own safety and at times, I'm sure, their own lives to tell Gaza and the people of Gaza that they're not alone. It should be a simple matter of fundamental human rights. That's the message we should send from Glasgow here this evening. Thank you very much.
I have to say that it was a struggle to get many families to take any donation of any kind, because most families said they didn't want their money, they were glad that they had our support. But it is to the world's shame that Gaza lies bombed as it was, as we saw it. Not a single brick has been put back in place. People who lost their homes during the bombing are still living in tents fed by United Nations. It's shocking to know that almost 1 year on, nothing has really changed. And that's why it's important in the live link tonight for us to hear about the situation directly and the suffering that continues in Gaza itself. It's the many children that are left injured by the bombing that Gaza is simply unable to cope with. Even with the aid and donations, they're not always getting the right kind of aid that they need. But there is a report that I believe is important in holding Israel to account for its actions in the 22-day war. The Goldstone report, compiled by Judge Goldstone, I think is an important report for us to look at. I'm sad to say that Britain abstained in the vote in the UN, but there is still time to persuade the British delegation in March that they should vote for this report. I urge you, when you've had a chance to see the exhibition tonight, and think on how we do our bit to take on further this question of bringing about justice for Palestinians, that you do write to the Foreign Secretary, you ask Britain to vote for the Goldstone report. You continue to lobby members of this Parliament and members of the Westminster Parliament. In conclusion, was it the rocket firing that started this war? It is the failure of the world which is the root cause of this international issue.
It was not unusual in the occupied Palestinian territories for a pregnant woman to be kept so long at the border that she gave birth. Half of those children died. That's unforgivable in my view. Today is an important day, but I woke up to the best news I've heard in years. You will have heard that the Palestine Solidarity Campaign, and I have to point to the Scottish Palestine Solidarity Campaign, particularly Mick Napier and his efforts, have caused a minor miracle. You'll know for the first time, when you go to the supermarket, you'll know for sure where those spring vegetables come from. Do they come from Israel? Do they come from dispossessed Palestinian lands? Where do they come from? You'll be able to make a choice. But remember, what the Palestine Solidarity Campaign have achieved has been miraculous. You can progress from sanctions to disinvestment. That's what I ask you to do. Thank you.
You're chairperson and founder of Friends of Alexa.
Yes, I am.
And the exhibition tonight in Glasgow in the Central Mosque.
Well, this is it, taking the move on the road and informing people wherever we can get them to listen to us, really. And people in Glasgow has really done very well, and they come out in their hundreds to not only see the exhibition, to also listen to the talks, and hopefully we'll activate them towards bringing peace.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of the opening of the Gaza Now exhibition in the Central Mosque in Glasgow. The organisers hope that it will have repercussions way beyond Glasgow in reminding people throughout the world, not just in Scotland, of the need of Gaza at the moment, 1 year on. This is Derry Bowman from the Central Mosque in Glasgow.